makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Fins Tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Fins Tailgate's where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Fins Tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Fins Tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL-wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Fins Tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait, it's your fate. This is the Fins Tailgate, now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.
What is happening, Dolphins fans, and welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate with your host, El Capitan. Tonight on the tailgate party that never seems to stop, propaganda, lies, narratives, obscure off-season training techniques. People are in the lab. And then there's also community beef. We're going to get into everything here at the program. Got a bunch of the homies in the back. We're going to get into it all. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Make sure you guys are checking everything out with the program. So all the shows that Shake's got going with the drive time and the West Coast fans, Dolphins fans, make sure you guys are checking out the boys. Ali with the late night exhales on Saturdays. I think Shake and I are going to pull another one here this Saturday if Ali can't make it to host. But also make sure you guys are checking out Ali's 4th and 10U. Tonk TMI tomorrow. Make sure you guys are there. And we even got color in the back, by popular demand. So hit the like button, everybody, on your way in. If you're watching on X, Twitch, Kick, even on Kick, come over here to YouTube, subscribe. Become a member, all that good stuff. And let's go ahead and bring the fellas in here. What's up, Ali? What's going on, buddy?
What up, dude?
Not
yeah, man.
Gonna get us all caught up with what's going on around in these streets. Tonk in the back. What up, Tom? Solid dog shampoo, Tonk. Tonk's been having technical difficulties since that mic drop. Remember when the mic quit working on him last week?
Yeah, that's true. He's had some issues.
Mm-hmm. There he goes. Color in the crib. What up, Color? Where's it? And Shake. Thank you, Shake. Color having technical difficulties. What up, Shake? Salute to everybody in chat. Shout out to everybody in here. Oh, look, Lou got in here early. Maybe he'll get an appearance by Lou at some point. Maybe he'll come down. Bryson in the crib. What up, Bryson? Who else in here? Mike K, of course. Never this late. There was no start time.
Michael K's an artist, if you didn't hear. Yeah, he's a clip artist, so be careful.
I know. He's terrible at it.
People can't watch porn in peace. I tell you, man.
Well,
yeah.
Adam in the crib. What up, Adam? Von Joe swinging by for the messy games. What up, Von Joe? The Jamaican from Zion letting everybody know to hit that like button. Salute. JFZ. G in the crib. What up, G? Kostra, what's going on? Salute to everybody getting in here. Mr. Polk in the crib. What's up, Mr. Polk? Hit the like button. Oh, yeah. We might know why you're here. We do know why you're here. Raph in the building. Salute, Raph. I see you, dog. What's up? And Mondo. What up, Mondo? What's going on?
It's
As
Van
well
Joe.
as-
It's Van Joe. What's going on, Van Joe?
Yeah, Vanjo. As well as somebody important. All right. So, I got a big itinerary. There's been a lot of off-season stuff. I'm going to catch you guys up on pretty much everything we can fit into this narrative, propagandized fan base, team, league, everything, because it's gone in literally every single direction. It really has, as far as support, people making things up. We've had straight bold-faced lies, apparently, backed by ESPN, traced back to the community. I'm going to tell you all about it. Tell you all about it. About former players, what they've said, about what former players are saying. And are they pushing their own narratives, their own agendas, their own propaganda? I think so. And then also, a creator in the community put together essentially what we've been saying here at the Fins Tailgate for years now about our quarterback. The problem is that finally, for these people who are big time data point people,
Accusations.
they're big time data folks. They're big time, by the numbers. Well, finally, the data points on said quarterback prove what people have been saying about him for years, especially here at the Fins Tailgate, and it's strangling them with their own weaponry, for lack of a better term. So, got some of that for you. I got a bunch, but it's kind of odd, right? Like, I've been busy. I've been real busy. I told you guys last time I was on, I'm doing this job transfer thingy, and it's going to have me in between South Carolina and Florida weekly. Plus, we got a big family vacation coming up next week. I don't know if I've told everybody outside of the program, but me and the family, we're all going to Puerto Rico for the week of the 4th. So it's going to be a big, big thing. So I've been busy. So all that's been settling in, but I have been paying attention. I have been listening, and I have been watching, and I have been, observing. Not as intent, and certainly not as much as a good creator as I've done in the past, as far as taking my observations and my learnedness and bringing it to people and giving my opinions and the program. But that will settle in, here over the coming weeks. I think it's going to settle in really nice, and probably you'll see me a hell of a lot more. But it's funny because I'm in and out. And a little birdie tapped me on the shoulder, which that happens often. But this was kind of something that's right up the Fins Tailgate alley. And I don't know if you guys know this, but one of the many narratives that we're going to talk about here is something of the community beef in the title. And we know homie, friend of the program. You can find him now at the Blitz pickup with homie Tony. Good peeps. The rest of the gang they got over there, even Jess over there. But we know our friend, aka the Rabid Dolphin, aka Lucito, aka Tolerated, aka Greenlit, aka Lewis. He finds himself in hot water. And now it's kind of funny because I can't see this person on Twitter because they've decided to block me. And I understand that, I'm not everybody's favorite guy. That's cool. But I just want to point out, we're talking about off-season propaganda, narratives, fucking all kinds of stuff. Somebody's been in the lab preparing. And Last I checked, it was pinned on at the top of their page. But somebody's been in the lab, boys. And I'm going to show you. So, this is a gentleman. Now, some of you guys might know him, might not know him. If you don't know him, I would suggest going back and watching a bit of our other episodes where we get into community beefs. But this person is letting Lucito know that he's in the lab. Now, you guys might not recognize him, but I can maybe help refresh your memory, right? And see if I got a little something for as far as a refresher goes. Let's see, guys. I might have a little something. You might know who this person is.
Is you have some things that you do, and then Lewis is over here doing them worse. And I said, look, I tolerate, but I'm not fucking dead. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I don't have a past, that I don't fucking box every day, that I haven't fucking been through the shit, that I haven't been through life and death situations. I'm not going to pretend, bro. I'm not going to pretend that I didn't fucking run a hit squad, a buck squad in fucking my city, and everybody goddamn knew who the fuck I was. Me and my 5 guys, and we would blueprint motherfuckers.
Oh, shit.
You don't understand who the fuck you're talking to, bro. I've been so fucking far away from it. It's unbelievable. I'm a unicorn. People don't fucking survive this shit I've been through.
Unicorn? Are you fucking kidding? Who calls
apparently.
Listen, guys, I want you to understand something. I have fucking been in more fights than all of you combined.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Man, you know what's fucked up, bro? I actually didn't have a problem with Lewis until he fucking had a problem with me. And you know what happens with people that have a fucking problem with me? I let them have a fucking problem with me, bro. You want to fucking have a problem with me? Go fucking ahead. I have trained fighting my entire fucking life. I am a fucking monster. And you know what? I get it. A lot of people just talk shit and say shit. Bro, I'm fucking warning you. I am not the same as you motherfuckers, bro. You don't know people like me.
Prison one day.
Yeah.
By the way, Mr. Poker's in the back. Just putting that out there.
Oh, bring him up.
Somehow I got the fuck through that.
Yo, dude. What the fuck?
So, say what you will, but, this was an encounter we had. We were actually, it was a discussion about a lot of other stuff. It was a discussion about when Reason and everything was beefing and all that stuff. But, to me, making good on everything he said on the Finn's tailgate some months ago. I don't. Sheikh, can you look and see, or Ali, can you look and see what the name of that episode was, and maybe we could pin it to the chat so people can check it out. But here he is making good on everything he said. Don't act like I ain't boxing every fucking day. Don't act like I ain't trained. And this is making good. And Lou has already been greenlit. That's a fact. And if I was Lou, I'd be looking out. I mean, look at the fucking moves on this, bro. I mean, dude, that's like a fury coming right at you. Question was posed in the space where this was brought to my attention by Lou and others in the group chat. Is this what the 5 guys, the hit squad, look like coming at you like that? Because I'll be honest, that's just scary as fuck. You come fucking flying all them fists at you, fucking like that shit. 5 that's like 250 fists. That's like 2,500 fists. So,
all right, I got it. It's called the Dolphins content creators versus the Dolphins beat writers.
Okay, can you grab that and pin it in the link in the
Yeah, I'll do that. We'll do.
Yeah, like
I'll put it in there. You got to pin it.
Yeah. If you put it in there. So, again, promises, not promise. I don't want to say promises, right? But statements were made, and some of us took it a little lightly. myself included, it's the fucking internet. It's late at night. Everybody's having a good time. And homie was kind of tripping, right? But I don't know why I just did that. That's not what I wanted to do. But I mean, this is making good on everything he said. And I'm gonna again play it one more time so you could hear exactly what he said. So,
and I said, look, I tolerate, but I'm not fucking dead. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I don't have a past, that I don't fucking box every day, that I haven't fucking been through the shit, that I haven't been through life and death situation. I'm not going to pretend, bro. I'm not going to pretend that I didn't fucking run a hit squad, a buck squad in fucking my city, and everybody goddamn knew who the fuck I was. Me and my 5 guys, and we would blueprint motherfuckers. You don't understand who the fuck you're talking to, bro. I've been so fucking far away from it. It's unbelievable. I'm a unicorn. People don't fucking survive this shit I've been through.
Unicorn?
Apparently. Listen, guys, I want you to understand something. I have fucking been in more fights than all of you combined.
Okay.
Sorry.
Man, you know what's fucked up, bro? I actually didn't have a problem with Lewis until he fucking had a problem with me. And you know what happens with people that have a fucking problem with me? I let them have a fucking problem with me, bro. You want to fucking have a problem with me? Go fucking ahead. I have trained fighting my entire fucking life. I am a fucking monster. And you know what? I get it. A lot of people just talk shit and say shit. Bro, I'm fucking warning you. I am not the same as you motherfuckers, bro.
I mean, you get it. You guys get it. I mean, there was a lot of things said and receipts not necessary because provided.
By the way,
Receipts
so y'all know real quick,
Yeah.
it's on the 2 hour and 37-minute mark. So if you want to fast forward it to it, it's 2 hours and 37. That's where it starts.
Cool.
I just have a question. Was that
See how
his
fast I load and reload.
was that his Joe Pesci imitation? Because that gave me some Goodfella vibes there. I'm gonna point that out. You know, when he said when he was talking about you know, it almost sounded like he was saying something like, am I, you know, do I make you laugh?
He says, "Don't you ever go over my head again."
Yeah.
Well, not that, but like what he was talking about. Replay the clip one more time, El Cap. Replay it one more, and I'll point it out.
Okay. All right. One moment.
I got the fuck through that. I let him have a fucking problem with me, bro.
Right there. What do I do when people have a problem with me? I let them have a problem with me. See, that right there is kind of reminds me of Joe Pesci when he was like, do you think I'm funny? Do I make you laugh? Am I a clown? You know, when he was saying stuff like that, it just gives me that kind of vibe, bro. I don't know what it is, but
playing a part in a way, but again, you can say that.
It's almost like he's trying to be something that he's not, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But a lot of the things he said, I mean, he didn't provide receipts on everything. I didn't see the actual prints of the blueprints. I don't know if there's actually 5 guys, and I don't know if he ran shit, but I do know he's someone who trains every day. I mean, look at the technique. I mean, that's fucking Nate Diaz. That's fucking Nate Diaz, dog. That's sort of those pitter patters, and then you put something behind him like Nate Diaz does. That's 5 deep plus that. That's like Lou said he counted, but I don't think Lou knows how to count. He said there was like 31 punches in 30 seconds or something like that, but I don't think the video's only like 14 seconds long, so I don't know how the fuck the bitch got 30 seconds.
Is this his Captain America tryout video?
I mean, maybe Lewis woke him up out of that Captain America deep freeze, Tonk. That's good eye by you. Because
he didn't make good on one thing though.
What's that?
Joe Rist is definitely taller than him.
Oh yeah, no, Joe Rist is a head higher than he is.
Yeah, he's a head taller than
He
Joe.
also didn't take it. We're not a bunch of punching bags, so
I got you. So listen, you can see here he did respond. I guess he was listening, or maybe someone sent it to him, and he says in the lab. That's his thing, but he basically posted saying they made a 9-hour to a hate space, somehow squeezed me in. I don't know if there was a 9-hour to a hate space, but that you can see me there. Look, there's El Capitan. I was co-hosting with Lou for a little while there. I don't remember a 9-hour space. I don't think that was a 9-hour space. I don't think there's enough time in the day for it to be 9 hours from when I got on to now. So, but next time, Lou started the dialogue, which he can do. He says, next time, come so we can see you. Yeah, no need to hide, Karate Kid. Damn, called him fucking Karate Kid. He said, nobody invited me. Don't really need the
Karate Kid. He's more like Kung Fu Panda, man.
Well,
no, bro.
You and your buddies don't know shit. But
he should have called him Danielson, bro. That would have been funny as hell.
And he says, I'm busy. And Lou said, gym time? That was funny. That was actually pretty good. He goes, yes, sir. Back at it. Maybe you should concentrate on how to be a good person so you don't get your ass whooped one day by a guy that will handle you like a small lunch. That's fucking funny. Handling you like a small lunch is
what does that even
dope.
mean?
Well, it's just,
It means be a good person, because bad people like me will fuck you up if you're not.
I mean, he basically said Lewis ain't nothing but a little snacky poo. That's what I heard. Lewis ain't nothing but a snacky poo. He light work. He eat him and burn off those calories back at the punching bag. That's
no. He's saying be a good person because people like him don't have to be. So you always want to make sure you don't piss off somebody like him. So be a good person, bro. So he can be a good person.
Okay. Actually, Color, you're kind of right. Psychologically speaking, that's kind of what's going on here. There is this, don't be bad.
Yeah, people aggravate this guy, and he knows himself. So rather than not,
thankfully, he's not a fucking.
In order to save his own calories, he shuts everybody else down because he knows that as soon as an intelligent person says something that pisses him off, he's going to want to be a bad person.
Well, there's been some interaction, to say the least. And when I watched this video, right, I gotta say something, guys. Sometimes I remember things, and I don't remember like everything that I remember about them, but like they're there, and I'm like, I'm holding on to that. That applies to this. That's why that memory came to me. And as soon as I peel like a layer back, I'm like, damn, I was smarter than I even realized, right? And kind of like trick myself in my own brilliance sometimes, because I was watching this video, and I was like, damn, look at this shit, dog. Off-season training for everybody in the community and in the fucking team. Out here, throwing hands, keeping yourself in shape, cardio like a son of a bitch, right? Like real hardcore cardio. All of this. And I was like, okay, this kind of triggers a little bit of a memory. And I was like, what is that? And I was like, oh yeah, we had our own. We've seen this play out before. And here provided greatly by the Miami Herald, sparked a little bit of memory. Look at that.
Matt Bayamonte's Boxing Club here with Brandon Albert, left tackle for the Dolphins. We're going to be doing some jump rope, shadow boxing, mitt work, and bag work, and finish that with some core.
The boxing gym, I think, is, for me, very therapeutic. Just dealing with Matt.
Years ago.
Hitting the bag.
Good old Brandon Albert. You guys remember this, right? Brandon Albert throwing
Good.
in them
You know, it's a
haymakers.
different type of workout.
Look at him go. Yep.
And he looked like he got mad arthritis in his hands.
Jumping and lifting. And I come in here to get my mind right. It helps me with my hands, my quickness with my hands, and how I punch when I pass block. So it's very beneficial and very therapeutic for me.
See what I'm saying? There's some therapy involved, all that good stuff. Let's watch him. Let's watch him get some.
His conditioning.
Look at this.
Whereas in football, you get a little bit of
that
rest. In boxing, you just keep
Look at that
going.
footwork. Look at that speed.
Mentally, I think when he gets on
Look
the
at that.
field, he knows that it's just going to be a
Hell
quick
yeah.
burst. Whereas in here, he's going for 3 minutes straight, sometimes 4 minutes, no
3
rest.
minutes,
and
4
it
minutes,
just helps
5
along
minutes
with,
by some
mental,
people in the community.
physical preparation. At his size,
Great.
at 310, 315, to move the way he moves, the normal heavyweight's 240, 250, and he's almost right there with a professional on his movement. So
I just want to point out, this is an almost professional according to that boxing guy. Okay. This is
Like, why do they even have to ask that guy anything? You know what he is to Brandon Albert, dude? A servant. That guy is a servant. That's like going and asking somebody's maid what they eat for dinner.
Again, we're just looking at.
Oh, I know. I'm just speaking to that good old media stuff that people get so upset about. There's an example of it right there. Like, why even involve that little bald-headed servant? He's the guy's servant. You know what I mean? Like, what is he gonna say? Nah, bro, he's totally amateur out here, bro. This is just a joke, man.
Again, I just want to point out, we just watched Brandon Albert do his thing, and I gotta say, Brandon Albert ain't got shit on this. He ain't got shit on this, boys. He's got nothing on it. Brandon Albert would get worked the fuck over.
Who we looking at now? It's kind of small for me.
What's that?
Who we looking at now? It's kind of small for me.
That's TDR.
Oh, that's TDR?
Color.
Wait a minute. I thought he was taller than that.
Well, I mean, he's tall enough, buddy. I mean, that's...
Well, in the picture, in his avatar, didn't he have wasn't he 4 feet taller than his old lady?
Well, listen, let's not get on that part. He's
one of them guys. He's one of them guys that gets a 4-foot girlfriend to make himself look taller. Is he one of them dudes?
Easy color. You don't want to get greenlit. You don't want to get greenlit. But I do want to point out that if I measure up that TDR footage versus Brandon Albert, and Brandon Albert has a boxing professional telling people this guy's cusp of pro in the heavyweights. I mean,
hey, you want to know how you can tell when a dude?
Let me wrap the bow on this.
Sorry, bro.
Going somewhere. I don't need you to Guller. I got fucking 60 things in my key right now. I've got a whole tale to tell everybody about everything. I'm glad Lewis is still watching because I just want to point out, as TDR has stated, boxes and trains every fucking day, like he said, presents the receipts. But he also said something else, and I just want you guys to listen intently. Listen.
Fucking problem with me? I let him have a fucking problem with me, bro. You want to fucking have a problem with me? Go fucking ahead. I have trained fighting my entire fucking life. I am a fucking monster. And you know what? I get it. A lot of people just talk shit and say shit. Bro, I'm fucking warning you. I am not the same as you motherfuckers, bro.
I mean, monster, not the same. Training. Just presented the training videos. And I just want to point something out quickly. Brandon Albert, monster. Almost a pro, training videos. Some would even say, I thought we all kind of thought of Brandon Albert as kind of a nice guy. But did y'all remember when Brandon Albert got arrested not that long ago? Does anyone know about this?
No, I had no idea.
Of course you don't, Color, because El Capitan's here to tell you. Back in 2018, Brandon Albert was tasered twice. On June 7th, back in 2018, TMZ Sports, which I won't show you the video because they have the copyrights on, and I ain't playing with that, has obtained body cam footage of Brandon Albert's arrest where he was tasered twice as he barreled his way out of the jewelry store back in February of 2018. We broke the story. The Pro Bowl offensive tackle was arrested for assault in Georgia when he allegedly flipped out at Icebox Jewelry, punching a hole in the wall and threatening the owner. When cops arrived, 5'6", 315-pound, allegedly tried to push his way out of the store and leave, and that's when the officer drew his taser, and the prongs hit Albert, blah, blah, blah. He pulled the prongs out, and then they had to got back up. According to the police report, eventually Albert was taken into custody when he kind of ran out of breath and became a little disoriented after the second time getting tased. So, a little bit of a correlation.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think you should be a violent person and all that. But you gotta love that though. But you gotta love Brandon Albert there. Like, what a champ, bro. I bet he even let out a big roar when he ripped him out. When he's like, oh, what are those gonna do?
Well, I
eat taser prongs for breakfast.
I just want to point out the correlations here for our good buddy Lucito, a.k.a. Rabid Dolphin, a.k.a. Tolerated, a.k.a. OG, a.k.a. the real OG.
Was Brandon Albert part of the unicorn?
Huh? Does he know how to ride one?
No, I said, was Brandon Albert a part of the unicorn offensive line, right?
I would
yes,
say
he was. Yes, he was.
Unicorn.
Okay.
He was a part of the unicorn offensive line.
Okay.
And he was the
unicorn knights of the round table.
Thank you, Shake, for finding another parallel in this absolute calamity that Lou seems to find himself in. In this scenario, Lou, you're the fucking Icebox jewelry store, and I'd watch out with fucking TDR coming and punching at your Icebox, bro. Just saying. Just saying.
You need to jump that voltage up a little bit in your taser there.
He gonna come swinging at your Icebox, Lou, and he gonna take all your jewelry and gonna eat you like it. Well, you know what? It's not Icebox jewelry. It's lunchbox jewelry. You're in trouble. That's the truth.
And by the way, no offense to short females out there, but when a dude like that has a girlfriend that's the size of a trophy, you can bet that she sees him as a trophy, or he sees her as a trophy.
I see my wife as a trophy. She's tiny as fuck too. Color, what you saying, dog?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying
color.
When your wife can actually fit on your mantle, you're probably
be careful,
Color. Be careful.
Just fucking let it die, Color. I'm trying to get you out of that dumbass conversation right there.
Y'all don't use your old ladies to intimidate other people like that, so it doesn't apply to you.
No, Color. I don't know what he does with his old lady, and I don't speculate on it.
I'm talking about taking pictures next to her, making yourself look 7 foot tall, bro.
He just go. All right. Anyhow, Brandon Albert with his fighting techniques, and Lou finally coming up. Lou, I don't want you to be the lunchbox, icebox jewelry. I don't know if you have a taser or own a taser. You might want to invest in one. Buy a punching bag, get off the internet, something. I don't know, bro. What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna do nothing, Cap. And listen, I appreciate the show and the rundown and the kind of the history of Lou, right? Like I've had like 9 different aliases, and Cap, I've come to a conclusion just listening to your synopsis, right, of the whole evolution of I guess me, right? And you know what's crazy, Cap?
What's that?
As Dolphin fans, we always complain about consistency, right? Like the Dolphins can never be consistent. Y'all should stop following and being fans of the Dolphins. Y'all should start following and being fans of me. Because I've been very consistent, Cap, of getting greenlit, to use your words, for the last about 5 seasons. And you know what's been very consistent about the greenlit situation? I'm still here standing, Cap. I go to tailgates. I meet up with my guys, Ali and Color, and I'm not looking over my back. I'm not worried about nothing. I'm very consistent. So I'm just here as a PSA.
I'm gonna push back on you, Lou.
Okay.
I would say you're very inconsistent with all the name changes. One might say you're running and hiding all the time.
Well, I mean that's your opinion, Cap, and
He's trying to say you code switching, Lou. Is that what he's trying to say?
It sounds like that, color, right? That's what it comes off like. It sounds like that.
Well,
like you're Louis one day, and then you're Lou the next, and then you're Italian Lou one day, and then you're Cuban Louis the next day, and then
in a space every now and again. Sometimes
you're Mexican Luisito.
Yeah. Sometimes you're. I think this is Louis we're talking to now.
Should I pull up to the tailgate this season, Cap, in like a disguise? Do you think I should do that?
Bro, I'll tell you right now, Lou. If you put a wig and a mustache on, that shit would be legendary. Just like get like a blonde mustache to go right over your dog. Should be hilarious.
Make yourself look like me, like just a goofy white dude.
You remember that scene in the original Karate Kid movie when he went to the school dance or whatever, and he dressed up as like a shower?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Shower. Oh, no doubt, bro.
I should go to the tailgate this season with like a pole on my back, like dangling like a punching bag or whatever, and see if TD Dog pulls up.
And have the punching bag hanging in front of you, like you're chasing it like a carrot, on his
face. Is that a good idea, Cap?
Like a carrot on his face.
I got it, Lou. You get one of them punching bags and just cut it all out and just take the leather part and just wear it like a fucking around your body. Just wear that. Walk.
Oh, that's around. Even better.
Wear the whole
thing. Put little armholes in it like the banana,
That and you should get a unicorn sticker and slap it on there.
Yeah, get a unicorn sticker with a target.
Put a big horn right out the top of it.
What's going on with my camera? I'll be right back. Let me drop in a minute.
Oh man,
this is hilarious, man. Oh, Jesus.
It just reminds me of one of them guys that's like, one of them cops that like thinks that your rights go out the window just because you're in his presence. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know. But I do know, I'm glad he's not a cop. That would be terrifying.
Oh, I'm sure that there's plenty of them like that, bro. Don't worry about that.
Well, again,
that's the cookie cut. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's the cookie cutter mold of that type of person, bro.
Now, the question I have, Cap, you played the video from a couple weeks ago. He said his words, again, not mine. Him and his 5 hit squad members used to blueprint people should, in your opinion, Cap, because again, we're friends, right? I value your opinion. Do you think before week 1 I should create my own hit squad? Should I put applications out and have people train and I evaluate and maybe do some all 22 breakdowns? Or
I don't think I'd be putting applicants out because a real hit squad is going to look to be like a double agent and might try to weasel their way into your hit squad. You're going to have to line up a couple of day ones to be real because apparently this is like a well thought out, outfitted. I mean, if you're putting blueprints out, you know what you're doing. So
yeah, they got to access public records and all kinds of shit to get blueprints.
If you're blueprinting people and running your city, I quote, running my city, then you best be ready with some day ones that you can kind of trust. If I'm around, I got your back.
Okay, man. Hey, listen, I appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate that, Cap. Now, Cap, the one thing don't he have a problem with you too, though? Like you're just painting this picture in like I'm the problem. I thought he had a problem with you, though, Cap.
Oh, he thinks this is the whole like the head of the snake, bro. You know what I mean? We're the ones that harbor it all.
So I think he thinks that kind of maybe in some ways I'm like me and the boys here, it all kind of runs concurrent and alls it is trolling and doing this, but that only seems to be what he's ever been a part of or taken part of. You know what I'm saying? So if that's his opinion, that's his opinion. I don't know if it's so much I'm greenlit.
He thinks you're prophetizing off of his unicornness. Off of his unicornness, you're profiting on it. That's his issue.
Yeah, he thinks there's some kind of golden fucking pot at the end of the rainbow because we're talking about this shit. It's really not. This is a service provided by,
We're the scourge of YouTube, bro. We're the ones that are doing it all for clicks.
The golden pot is so he can take a golden shower with it.
Oh, the shower costume that Lou's going to set up for him. Look at that. Look at you guys.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming together, dude.
I love it when a plan comes
together.
Lewis,
the little confetti strings you have coming out the shower head should be yellow, of course.
Von Joe says he's down for the hit squad. So we gonna put Von Joe in there.
I got one.
Bro,
there you go. I got one.
Bro, we should all line up when TDR is standing there.
First of all, Lewis, I don't even have to apply. I'm going to show up even if you asked me or didn't ask me.
Yeah.
So
there
like
you go.
imagine we're all standing there.
I'm two down. I got 4 more slots to go.
If I'm there,
we're all standing there in a line facing TDR, and Lewis is at the head of it, right? And he's like, "Oh, you haven't met my friend VJ," and we all spread open up parting the Red Sea, and there stands Von Joe, like, "Oh, this is cracking his knuckles." You know what I mean?
I just want Von Joe showing up in that suit like he's working fucking security for Stephen Ross on the hit squad. That's what I want. I just want that part. That shit is cool.
Now,
snazzy suits he goes out in on Friday nights, bro.
Cap, this is the question I have for you, and I posed the question kind of backstage with some of the fellas before you got back there. Mm-hmm. Why do you think this video surfaced today out of all days? Bro, this been like a month where no one's even mentioned this guy's name. Like, why do you think this all of a sudden the hit squad leader shows up hitting the punching bag? Like,
well, I'm glad you asked, Lou, because that's rolling into how I was gonna naturally roll into it. See, Lou's a good basketball player. I don't know if you guys know this. He knows there's something around the yonder, but he don't know where you're at. So it's like one of them behind the back passes, and he's like, if he's where he's supposed to be, he's gonna get this.
I'm catching it. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna be there. Now, if you ain't there and I throw it, then that's on you. Yes, I do have a theory on why this is coming out. Why? And I'm going to tell you, it's because TDR is a better Dolphins fan than all of us. That's it. He's a better Dolphins fan than all of us. And I'm going to tell you why.
All right. Then he's got to prove it. He's got to prove it with a Dan Marino rookie card and another card that is like incredibly rare. I want to see all the games that he went to as a kid.
Well, I think
I'm not even sure he's a good realtor, let alone a good Dolphins fan.
He ain't a better fan than us, dude. How are you gonna say that he's a better fan than us?
Well,
maybe me, but that's about it.
I'm telling you, that's what he thinks.
There ain't a chance in hell he's a better fan than you. There ain't a chance in hell.
Not just us. This is everybody in chat.
I'll step into the ring with him before I say that.
This is everybody in chat too. This isn't just solo. Okay? It's not. It goes deeper than that. Because the Miami Dolphins are going through a natural organic change according to them. And I think this is the video. Let's listen in just intently because there's a lot of talk about culture change, a lot of talk about becoming something different. And it's one of the overall topics of where I have in propaganda, narratives, in the community beef. And as you can see, it all ties together. Listen in to Cameron Wolf, as soon as I can set this bitch up, on what he has to say about what's going on. And Lou, I think Lou's going to love this because I think he can agree wholeheartedly with everything.
Pressure is more intense on Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins than it's ever been in this era. I've been there almost every day this offseason, and there's so much talk within the players about we're a different team. The culture's changing. The accountability is changing. Now, I've talked to some people in that building. Culture isn't a word they've used as far as their plan within the building, but it's sort of a bridge. They're trying to show that this is a different team. And when I went upon my homework there, I was like, can a Dolphin really change his colors?
Oh my God.
Pink Dolphins can change colors from a nature standpoint.
So we're not. Hold on now.
We're not chameleons, bro. We're not fucking
This guy's for real.
Stop
Is this
with
what
this
really
shit.
is this real journalism here? Are we
Stop
really
with
in the
this
same
shit.
universe we were in?
God. Yo, we will never have a segment ever that
Well,
says are the Dolphins changing colors,
I'm just saying.
everybody? Are the Dolphins changing colors? Motherfucker, you need to change your crusty ass underwear and get with the program.
Well, listen, TDR and others in this fan base, they're changing their colors, and it's going.
Does Cameron realize that? Wait a minute.
No,
Wait a
they're
minute.
waving a white flag is what it means.
Okay, so these people realize, just like a 7-year-old kid would know, that the players aren't actually Dolphins. He knows that, right?
No, color. It's the metaphor, okay? And it's
God.
the Dolphins. It's a perfect metaphor because Dolphins are gray, and they can change their colors to pink. And maybe we have pink Dolphins, or maybe they're making themselves into pink Dolphins. I don't really know.
That's funny. That's funny because when I was at the when I was up in your neck of the woods, well, your former neck of the woods at the Dolphin Emporium, it's funny because when I pointed out to the lady when we were standing at the pool interacting with the Dolphins, I pointed out to the lady that the Dolphin had a little bit of a tint of aquamarine, and she goes, that's the reflection from the bottom of the pool.
Oh, see, so it can only be.
So
gray.
maybe I beg to differ that they can change colors. Maybe it's just the reflection from whatever he's standing up against.
Well, color, I would say, according to Cam Wolf, and this is it, right? The Dolphins' culture, narrative changing. What are they going to do about it? Is it just more talk? Is them becoming Pink Dolphins propaganda, or are they Pink Dolphins already? And that's kind of the fucking problem.
Not to start an argument with color, but I just Google searched it, and there are some dolphin species that can change color. While they don't have a chameleon,
I'm sure there are.
While they don't have a chameleon ability,
America has them.
they change the hue.
Ali, I'm sure there are. I don't doubt that. But tell that to a dolphin expert when you're trying to actually when they feel like they were one up on knowledge.
I get
you know what I mean?
I get you.
Well, didn't you
so
hear?
Either Cameron Wolf is right and Google is right, or this expert at the Dolphin Emporium is right. You know what I mean?
Well, Cam Wolf, he straight up did his research, and I don't know if did you hear what he just said?
But the whole thing is, though, people are not dolphins. That's all I'm saying. People don't change their colors.
Turns out Amazon Pink Dolphins can change colors from a nature standpoint. This Dolphins team is going to be challenged to change its colors from a team that many people who played them thought was soft, thought they were front runners, a team that scored a lot of points but didn't have the toughness in the road. And it was interesting hearing Bradley Chubb, one of their star defenders, when asked, why is this year different? Last year, you guys said we were a different team. He said, well, we were lying last year. We maybe dipped our foot into the changing mentality, but this year we're going all in. I can tell you this. I've watched him in camp on paper.
You hear what he just said?
Last year. We maybe dipped our foot into last year. You guys said we were a different team. He said, well, we were lying last year. We maybe dipped our foot into last year.
Wait. Bullshitting is not. I got to correct Chubb there. I got to correct Riley Chubb there. Bullshitting is not the same thing as lying.
No, they were lying. They knew they weren't shit.
They were bullshitting, just like they're bullshitting now.
And by the way, I don't think the Dolphins needs to change his color. He's more soft is more like changing your texture.
Gross.
Right. Oh, and by the way, we have changed our colors like 3 times since we were a winning franchise. So what are they talking about? We've tried the color change, Cameron.
Yes, it's the texture we need changing.
Oh, that's a good one, Shake. I'd steal it if I didn't have respect for it.
So again, in this narrative, it's flaring up just in time for the propaganda, or well, the narrative's already been set because the last time we hear from the Dolphins coaching staff, Mike McDaniel came out all swaggy style, Mike McSwaggy, kind of Mike McFucking whatever, douchebaggy, whatever you want to call it. He was like, "Fuck y'all, fuck you reporters, snarky Mike is here." He wasn't playing no games because that's the new attitude. These aren't pink dolphins anymore. These aren't lying pink porpoises anymore. They're not river dolphins that you can only find in rivers in the Amazon. These are actual in the ocean porpoises that rally together and attack things and save people from sharks on TV and all that good stuff. There's been plenty of because that narrative has been out there. There's been responses to the narrative, and
you know what else? You know what else Dolphins do, Cap? A lot of fucking.
Well, we in Florida Dolphins, true Dolphin fans, are holding down that part color. Thank God.
Yeah, they still do. Look at the price of tickets.
I was gonna say, Tonk. I was meaning more like fucking over. You know what I mean? Like the R word. You know, because that's what they're known for.
Let's listen in.
Am I the only one can't hear nothing?
You guys can hear it, right? You guys hear it?
No.
Issues in that.
Oh fuck! Thanks for saying
almost
something.
There it was.
All right, hold on. Let me start it all over. Thanks a lot, everybody.
I said something.
All right, listen in finally.
How are they doing it? I'm not sure. I mean, that's my. Here's the problem with saying last year we were full of it, this year we're not. When you are 3 days into this year, I mean, the problem is evidenced by the sentence itself. Like that statement might hold a lot more water or mean a lot more week 10 of this season, you know, in a retrospective on what's been different. But how the hell do you know?
Yeah.
And I think the Dolphins have issues in that almost all of their main characters, I think, are flawed actors. So I think Tyreek is not always a serious person, despite being
a lot said there. A lot pretty much saying what I think we're all kind of saying, right?
You know, I normally don't like Nick Wright because he overstates everything.
About Tyreek.
But he ain't wrong in anything he just said, bro. He ain't wrong.
For him, it's easy for him now when there's propaganda to push and ride on for his beloved New York Jets. He sounds like an idiot, but he's quick to catch himself. The second time around, after when Aaron Rodgers went down, he was completely off and critical of the Jets again the whole way.
You talking about the Nick Wright?
Yeah, Nick Wright. That's who.
Nick Wright.
Yeah, Nick Wright. No, he's
a KC fan, bro.
He's a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, he's a Chiefs fan.
Well, he was pushing that Jets. He was pushing that Jets propaganda like a mofo when Aaron Rodgers. He was Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know who's
he has an agenda.
Mahomes or LeBron.
I was going to say he has an agenda in talking down Aaron Rodgers because he's a Mahomes fan. You know what I mean?
You gotcha. Well, you know, they get on this tour, right? And so, as we've heard a little bit, that's the pink Dolphins. Dolphins are changing their colors. Nick Wright calling it out in a way I think we can all kind of speak on. So then it comes down to now that there's some pushback from the community, right? Saying, well, they've got a narrative on them that they're soft. And the problem with saying that, oh, last year we're lying and this year we're telling the truth is that, well, you've already lied and we know it. Because even if we don't need you to tell us that, there's no fucking revelation, Bradley Chubb, that y'all weren't lying last year. We saw the product. We saw the team. We saw
That's how you know we're in an abusive relationship.
And so now I'm supposed to believe you that this is the truth. Trust me this time. I swear to God, I'll never do it again. I've grown. I'm better now. Tua said this same thing. When we broke down his video. Mike McDaniel's acting all brand new. I fixed the marriage. I'm a new man. I got out of therapy. I worked on myself, and now I realize that I got to be a little bit more aggressive. I gotta take and tell and be something I'm not, to be a whole person. And it's propaganda, it's narratives, and the propaganda is being pushed. So now that there's this back and forth between, well, they're saying they're going to change and that we should believe them this time, not last time. When I believed them more last time than this time. So the talent alone tells me that. But then they pivot a little bit, and it starts going on to another talking point, another propagandized moment, a narrative writing moment. And all of these this back and forth, the propaganda, or excuse me, the narratives, the propaganda for the narratives, the pushback on that narrative, and then the pivot to the new narrative propaganda cycle machine. In between those creates the beef. So it's narrative plus propaganda equals community beef. And we've seen this. And
It's like a gambler begging for another marker at the end of the night, dude. Oh, God, it's so gross, man.
Well, just listen into a little bit more from Cam Wolf, because now that there's this back and forth, now that we got to change our colors. Let's try to pull another layer off that one. Let's listen in.
Yeah, the biggest thing I saw from Tua is a different look. Every year he looks a little different than he did the year before. But for them, they're trying to change a culture that, from the perception from the outside, is soft. That's a word they've heard a lot, and they cringe with the idea of it. But look, it's not going to change through June words, and I think the team knows that. They're saying the right things at this stage, but we're going to see the action when it comes in the fall and December practice. I think the most interesting thing Tua said today was discussing his progress through the injuries, because that's really the question mark when we talk about Tua. Obviously, he had the concussion last year.
Let's pivot on Tua. Let's talk about injuries, and then let's
that's
talk
not
about
the only
how
question mark, bro. That's not the only question mark. And I'm sorry, Cameron, but you don't set reality, bro.
Well, the propaganda is in, okay? And the propaganda tour is happening. And here it continues.
Hip injury late last season. He said that he got healthy around February from that hip injury. He wouldn't say exactly what it was, but he said that as long as he protects himself better, it won't be reoccurring. And really, that's been a focus point for him throughout OTAs and minicamp, getting the ball out quicker, making the.
All you got to do is just protect yourself better, and it won't get hurt. You know what? I have a knee that needs surgery. As long as I don't blow it out, I'll never need surgery. And I've been riding on that too. But I don't play fucking sports for a living. You know what I'm saying? That's
so right. So what do you think, Cap? So what do you think the WAR number is for number of plays that we are wasted this year?
Well,
compared to last year.
Now, again, what did I just give you the math problem? It is narrative, propaganda equals beef. Okay? So there's the new narrative is Tua is healthier now. That's the thing that's going to save the team. Yes, they got to prove it in such a way, but really, how do they prove it? They prove it with Tua, and Tua only needs to prove that he can stay healthy. You see
right. And in order to stay healthy, what did he say he had to do? What did he say he had to do in order to stay healthy?
Not get
the ball out. Get the ball out quicker.
No,
give up on more plays.
Mm-hmm.
Live to fight another day 500 times in a game until the game's over and you're losing.
Yeah, you lived all the way to the end of the game, but you lost. So let's continue, because now with that narrative, now that the Tua Tagovailoa talk has overcome the propaganda and narrative of the teams changing its colors from a pink dolphin to something else, now they can start peeling back the layers of this and see what they get as far as pushback goes. But they're going to feed that propaganda. Listen in. This is Teron Armstead on Get Up, or whatever the hell it's called. Some bullshit.
And Drew Brees, and you double down on it this week on Good Morning Football. Do you think that's a good comparison, Key, to and Drew Brees?
I do. You know, not just because they're both smaller quarterbacks, but I think their anticipation. Yep. They both, their arms aren't what. Well, Drew Brees' arm wasn't strong. Yeah, he threw with anticipation. Same thing with Tua. Tua's a very anticipative thrower of the football, except that throw right there, which I can.
Why do we keep throwing that?
Jumped in the damn camera.
Anticipatory.
Throwing it behind the dude and late.
Why is that the highlight that we're showing?
I didn't pull the highlight. I didn't pull it. It just makes it.
We have to have more tape.
Running that play, please.
It makes me mad.
Oh, no, that's hilarious. Did they just show a play that he threw an interception on because the ball was late? Is that what they just did?
No, it was just it was a pass that got there, but it was late and behind.
Wow, that's hilarious.
He has a lot of the same traits as a Drew Brees, and you was in the huddle with him. I've never been in a huddle with him. I don't know how to ask you this. I guess I'll just ask you like I would say. Is he smart at the quarterback position?
Now he's asking Teron Armstead this. So again, narrative change, Tua, propaganda incoming. And that's why they're talking Tua.
Like, can he process the information? Yeah. Can he then spit it out to you guys, dissect the coverages from the front to the back end in a heartbeat like that?
He can.
Then if he can do all of those things, then yeah, it's very Drew Brees. And yeah,
he can. Tua is highly intelligent. Like you spoke on the anticipation.
Yeah.
His precision, his accuracy, the command he's starting to get. Like Drew didn't come out the gate as the final product that we saw of Drew Brees, the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he did.
Drew had his growing pains the same way.
No, he's talking about the fact that Drew and the Chargers kind of struggled and then got injured and then.
No, they actually didn't. Go look at their records, bro. His first couple seasons, they actually didn't.
I know.
I'm not saying that they're the same player. Tua would never be Drew Brees. He's not trying to be Tua, the best version of Tua. Highly intelligent. As he continues to grow and get more command of the offense, I think the separating factor to take Tua from really good to great is the late.
So, Teron, we'll start with you. Are the Dolphins a playoff team?
I believe so, Joy. I do. If healthy, and I know that's the big question mark, the availability of Tua. Tua's under center every game. There's not a
and you
team
too
that the Dolphins can't beat. And
it's not like you played every game.
Talk about it. Well, he ain't playing anymore. He ain't playing no more games. He's retired, Color.
By the way, Drew Brees' record his first 3 seasons was 16-17.
Right, overall. But did he have what was his best record in those 3 seasons?
Chargers
8-8.
Yeah, Chargers Drew Brees was not good. He
All
was
right, fine. Okay, but what is even the point of saying that, dude? The guy is in his 6th year, bro.
Well, Drew Brees didn't have any success until like
his How about go to number 6? Go to year number 5, Shake. What's the record then?
That was when he was injured.
I mean,
changes the face of the franchise, but I think defensively, getting Bradley Chubb back healthy and Jalen Phillips back healthy with the emergence of Chop Robinson, I strongly believe the Dolphins is a playoff team. So it has.
So once again, defense got to carry this team and pray. This team is praying that Tua stays healthy so they can remain competitive.
The command he's started.
Again, also a little more propaganda. Teron Armstead on the propaganda tour. So let's listen in to him. He was in on the Rich Eisen show talking a little bit about some of this. I'll pull it up now just here. 1 second.
Books, Saint Teron Armstead here on the Rich Eisen show after a terrific 12-year career. Now in the books, Saints and Dolphins. So you saying Tua reminds you of Brees or as good as Brees raised a few eyebrows over the last couple of weeks.
Right.
What did you exactly say now that I have a Rich Eisen Show microphone in front of you, Teron?
Yeah, I made that comparison. I see similarities. I'm not saying that they're the same player or same person. No two people are.
What's similar?
The anticipation, the accuracy, timing of throws.
Anticipation, accuracy, timing of throws. It literally sounds like some NK Ultra bullshit, but let's continue.
The ability to knock a wing off a fly. Repeatedly, those guys throw darts. They don't throw to areas. They are very precise. And that's an elite talent. It's elite trait. Very few people possess. He's one of them, and Drew Brees another.
And listen, I'm not here to push
It's
back.
not true, bro.
Well,
It's not true.
Well, Keller, I'm not here to push back on how lethally accurate Tua is when he is hitting his spots. His protection is there. His wide
No, I'm
receiver.
not talking about his accuracy. I'm talking about him acting like Tua and Breeze are one of two exclusive people that can throw. They can do that.
No. But when you're
Like Jameis Winston has a better throw than Tua, bro.
I don't know about
mechanically.
That. I don't know about that either. I would say again.
I bet you if we had a straight target throwing contest, I guarantee you Jameis Winston will wipe the floor with the number of bullseyes he puts up next to Tua.
Not inside 20 yards, he wouldn't, but you get right outside 20 yards.
Any range. I mean,
potentially. But I will say this, right? And this is this narratives, these narratives, and then the propaganda. The propaganda is made up of talking points. They're out there. You see in this chronological order that I put these in, that how it like manifests itself, how it looks like some organic fucking talking point when all along it was this, and then it goes on. And I want to shout out Kyle Krabs, but I also want to, be a little critical of Kyle Krabs because, he's, first of all, shout out to him. He does amazing work doing what he does, being a real in the numbers kind of guy. I really appreciate his draft type of stuff. I think he does great work over there. But the data in which he points out about Tua is only presented itself because it's been 3 years of data he can now judge on. And the only reason it's taken this long is because he's injured often. And he's not around to give you enough data to tell Kyle Krabs and the people that need data to give them actual answers. What we here at the Fins Tailgate spotted out years ago, told you, listen, you're talking about he needs to stay healthy. I'm talking about he needs to do this and stay healthy. And I want you guys to listen in because this is probably one of the more in-depth, perfectly illustrated ways to point out everything we have been saying. So listen into this.
Tua Tagovailoa has had 49 dropbacks in those exact circumstances. It's the final 5 minutes of regulation plus overtime.
The final 5 minutes of regulation plus overtime. Tua has...
Oh, this ought to be good.
Has had, I think he said 49 snaps. Let's listen again.
Tua Tagovailoa has had 49 dropbacks.
49 dropbacks.
In those exact circumstances. It's the final 5 minutes of regulation plus overtime. It's -1 to -8 point differential. So you're losing by one score on the scoreboard. Overtime in fourth quarter. Obviously, overtime, it gets a little muddy where like somebody has to kick a field goal and then you get possession because it can't only end on the first possession of a touchdown. Regular season and postseason games. Last 3 years.
49 dropbacks in the last 3 years where the game...
that number is an indictment by itself, bro.
Already.
The fact that we only have 49.
That number of 49 is such an indictment already that's a real problem. That's only 49 times in 3 minutes where he's dropped back with the football inside 5 minutes or less to win, to be in the fourth quarter. Now, sometimes you don't need it. Sometimes you do, but whatever. Okay. Let's continue, because it really gets telling in the numbers to help out all the idiots.
The amount of dropbacks that Tua has in those game situations ranks tied for 20th in the NFL with 49 dropbacks.
So, tied for 20th amongst all quarterbacks. That is on the lower side, hands down.
Yeah, by the way, that's about roughly 2.5 per game.
Well, it's funny because I did a data point the other day with that. Anyhow, it doesn't matter.
Some of these quarterbacks, there's 4 quarterbacks in the NFL over the past 3 seasons that have triple-digit dropbacks.
There's 4 quarterbacks with over 100 dropbacks in those scenarios.
In those circumstances, final 5 minutes plus overtime, losing by 1 score. Derek Carr 120, Kyler Murray 104, Geno Smith 101, Kirk Cousins 100.
Okay, Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith, Kyler Murray, and who was the other one? Who was the other one?
The first one.
Listen.
101, Kirk Cousins 100.
Hold on.
And Trevor Lawrence rounds out the top 1 score. Derek Carr 120.
Derek Carr.
Kyler Murray 104.
I mean, fuck, how much football has Derek Carr played over the last 3 years? Not.
Well, the other thing too is Kyler Murray has roughly double the number that Tua has, right?
And how much football
that would explain, but would that not explain that if didn't like 5 or 6 of those come against us last year?
Dropbacks in the final 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Probably. Because our offense didn't have as many. If our offense, which I said back then and still maintain to this day, would have had more of those dropbacks, Kyler Murray would have never got the ball back to ruin our defense.
Listen in.
For Geno Smith 101,
Geno Smith 101,
Kirk Cousins 100.
Kirk Cousins 100. And then listen to the next person to round out the top 5.
And Trevor Lawrence rounds out the top 5 with 99. Only one other.
Trevor Lawrence. Now, every one of those 5 quarterbacks with their dropbacks have all missed time, multiple time over the last 3 years. So it's not like those guys that are at the top 5 have been playing every game the last years. Kirk Cousins didn't play all season last season. Geno Smith has played how much in the last 3 fucking years? I get that he did a couple. Kyler Murray, he's always fucking injured. And then Trevor Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence didn't play at all last year. What, he played 1 fucking game? Some shit? So it's not
there's another one that beat us with a couple dropbacks in the fourth quarter.
Another quarterback, Russell Wilson, over 85.
Russell Wilson over 85. And how much football has Russell Wilson? So the top 6 are all people that I bet if you took the 3 years of games that they've played and measured how many games Tua's played, they're all kind of close, give or take a few games. It's not like they've been 3-year starters every single game, all those guys.
The other thing, Cap, is a lot of these quarterbacks have a lot of victory snaps on their resume too. So you can count those as snaps that didn't have to be fourth quarter dropbacks.
Mondo's asking you a question, Color. What is Tua's strengths compared to his weaknesses, Color? You
want to hear some strengths from Tua? I can certainly oblige that. I think the guy is accurate. I think the guy can put the ball on a dime. I just didn't necessarily think it's some major feat, but I mean, he is very intelligent. He does seem to have this gift of
charisma,
moving men, and motivating people. But I don't know. I mean,
but does that outweigh his weaknesses? I would say no.
Thus far, it hasn't shown to.
No. Let's continue on with this a little bit because we've heard all, again, the top 6 quarterbacks who have some more than double the amount of dropbacks than Tua have all been, I would say, just as injured or absent on the field as Tua in the last 3 seasons. Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence, and Russell Wilson. Those 6 players have probably, in the last 3 seasons, have missed close to the same amount of time Tua has, where Tua's ranked at 20 with 49 dropbacks, and everyone I just named is 85 or higher. So listen to it.
So Tua not too consistently exposed to this circumstance. It ranks 20th in the NFL, and
because I would say this, Kyle, because he doesn't expose himself to this stat. That's how all the other propaganda stays alive. But let's continue.
There's a total of 49 total quarterbacks in the NFL that qualify to have enough pass attempts to be qualified on this list. So Tua's in the middle of the pack as far as how often he is exposed to these circumstances. He's completing 54% of his passes. He averages 4.8 yards per attempt. That
54% when the game is in the final 5 minutes and you're asking your quarterback to throw.
And those are likely 54%. Passes, Cap, that most other quarterbacks can throw on a rope. Because those are the types of passes you need in those fourth quarter situations where you got to move the ball down the field quick. Right. Which means his completions are to the checkdowns, and his incompletions are the mid to long stuff.
Let's continue on. Let me rewind it back just a little bit.
His passes, he averages 4.8 yards per attempt. That is a
per attempt, not
meager
per
number out of these 49 quarterbacks.
Wow, so he's not even trying the longer stuff.
Yeah, that's per attempt.
And right. So if he's not even trying the long stuff, what's that say, Cap? That suggests to me that he has a lack of confidence in his own arm strength.
Or he's playing safe because he doesn't want to take the risks everyone says he is taking. So listen,
we should just be able to move the ball down and score here based on Mike McDaniel's brilliance.
Again, and what is the mantra? Play it safe, throw it away, live to fight another down. Because if you do try to take a risk in the final 5 minutes of a game that we need you to do, you're going to get hurt. And
because that is when the defense is just, look, we're not thinking about injuries. We're going balls out because we're trying to get you to the ground.
It's why, to me, Tua's in particular propensity to get hurt when someone's got a fucking shot on him is an irredeemable quality because he has nothing else he can do to overcome it. He isn't trying to do this. He isn't Kyler Murray fucking at the top 5. He isn't these other guys that are Tua-esque, all of them middle of the pack type of quarterbacks, but they overcome with their trying to win football games and Tua can't. Let's continue. Listen to what Kyle says. I'm gonna rewind it just a little bit.
A meager number out of these 49 quarterbacks. Tua ranks 45th on yards per attempt, 4.8. He's thrown.
Out of the 49 qualifying quarterbacks, he's almost dead. He's 4 spots up from dead last with his.
And there's only 32 starters, dude.
We're in 5 minutes with the game on the line, and you're only tried it 50 times, and you're gonna do this? It's a
Cap. If he's 45th, that means there are. A lot of 12, 13 backups.
Oh, easy.
In front of him.
Easy. There's a bunch of backups.
13 backups.
Easy. There's a bunch of backups.
Thrown 3 touchdowns and thrown 3 interceptions in this exact scenario.
He's 3 of 3. in the scenario, in those 49 instances. I don't know if he tells us how many games this is out of.
Thrown 3 touchdowns.
I was going to say, because one of them has to be our backups.
Only getting 3 touchdowns in 3 years to take them away with 3 interceptions in 3 years in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter or overtime.
Scenario is a passer rating of 64.6.
Passer rating is 64.6.
That is, in and of itself, not good enough numbers. But what gets really surprising to me is when you look at some of his colleagues and how they perform in the same situations, because in the last 3 years, the Dolphins have won in which Tua has taken snaps in those situations. The Dolphins have won 5 games. Now, they have lost 8 of those games.
If there's 5 minutes left and you're asking Tua to win you the game, you're only going to win 5 out of 13. And to me, the reason Tua only has these 13 games to measure is because he's been injured and missing at the end of the season when this stat shows up the most. Because all you can do is hope to keep a close game, and then you're like, I need someone to win me it. Quarterback's got to throw me to win this game. It's not going to be Tua because he's already injured from trying it a month ago. It's an irredeemable quality.
So you're telling me that Tua only has a 38% probability of winning games in those scenarios?
That's right.
Interesting. Keep going.
But they've won 5.
I would say this. If the Dolphins are in a 1-score game and Tua's playing and there's 5 minutes left, chances are if Tua needs to come back, say if he's down 8 points or more, you're losing money if you're betting on Tua to take it over.
It was Baltimore in 2022. It was the Jets game this past year.
These are the games they won, the 5.
2024. And then in 2023, it was the Cowboys game. It was also the Jaguars game in 2024. And then
all games, listen to the games he's talking about. These are all the games that the Tuaneers say this is why he's going to be great. And there's only 5 of them.
The Chargers game. So 1 game in 22, Baltimore comeback. 2 in 2023. That was
Chargers in Dallas.
Chargers week 1, and then Cowboys to clinch a playoff berth at home. And then in 2024, it was Jacksonville week 1, and then the Jets overtime game, the first game we played against the Jets. Now, there's been some other opportunities that got away from us. We're going to get it.
And we're not going to get into that because that's all. You see, it's the one thing that I won't let go on why Tua won't work out. Because essentially that is a statistical analyzation of if the game is on the line, you don't have someone who can do anything about it. Because if you ask him, not that he doesn't possess the ability to, but if you ask him to, he'll get hurt, or you have to coach around not asking him to do it, in which you don't win. You got to play it safe. You got to get within field goal range to tie the game and ask the defense to make another stop. You got to, try to drive up and down the field, and you're gonna give the ball to your running backs more than you really should, even though you really got to mismanage the clock. All that stuff. That's the problem. It is too hard for a team to overcome. And when this team talks about changing its color from a pink dolphin to a real dolphin, it's hard to really, you can talk about it, but you can work. You can go to the gym and punch all the punching bags you want and get in much cardio shape as you can get into. But if the one taking you into battle isn't someone you can believe the team isn't just giving up. The team is losing faith. Sometimes it's in coaching, but I would say most of this in the last 5 years has been in the way in which the team is saying, this is our guy. This is who's going to win it for us, guys. And money can only buy you so much of that faith. That's it. That's it, boys.
Yeah, pretty much. And so you got to like come up with a bunch of like, dude, it's just, I don't know. It's business, man. It's business. And that's what mode we're in right now. Cause we know we either don't know or we know that we're not good enough. So it's one or the other. And it's business mode. It's pure money making, keep the fans on the hook mode right now.
Well, I would just hate for, Colin Cowherd and other people are saying that the Dolphins are going to fire Mike McDaniel, and they probably are. You're not really reading fucking the tea leaves if you're not seeing that. I don't think Mike McDaniel is the problem. I do think that he could be a good coach, and I think he can do it better. I think
there again, but remember what I always say about problems and symptoms, how they can sometimes be interchangeable. He's definitely a symptom of the problem.
He is, but he's also he was brought in to be a correction. I think with a proper counterbalance to Mike McDaniel, the team can run well, but I just don't think that if he was
right, he could be right. So there's a case where a symptom can be a solution. Like if your symptom is that you're coughing, then you might be able to cough all the junk out of your lungs. You know what I mean?
If he can't just say, "Hey, you know what? I'm not for Tua." Blah blah blah. He saw what happened. First of all, that's why.
I know, and I suspect. I've always suspected, Cap, that he's had that leash. You know what I mean? Like this is why one of the reasons that add to my calculus as to why I think that Mike McDaniel and Greer have the coldest seat in the league.
I don't know. I think if the team wildly quits on Tua, or if Tua goes down and Zach Wilson and these other guys completely tank and, all this other nonsense, it could get real dicey and they could look to make a complete change. They don't want to let go of Mike McDaniel, but they need to,
I think their lurker heard this loudmouth guy named Colors say that he wanted our next coach to have a 10-year contract, so they ran with it. They're like, and Ross was like, you know what? I kind of agree with that.
But at the same time, Color, there's also whatever. The last guy got a 10-year contract was Gruden, and that didn't work out really good.
Yeah, but that was remember what they had to do to get out of that contract, though. They had to basically slander him.
Yeah, well, they did. I mean, they had the dirt on him, and then they used it. That's why they signed him to that. Yeah. But speaking of dirt, right, and an episode of, again, off-season community beefs, propaganda, narratives, calling it out, pointing it out, showing you what it is. There was a hefty thing that has happened the last couple of days by an ex-Miami Dolphins player. And it had come out that Kendall Lamb was quoted saying that, I understand why the Eagles reached 2 Super Bowls, 3 years, players never late, never toxic, and after every practice, the room spent 15 minutes sharing personal struggles to stay mentally sharp, something I never got with the Dolphins.
Yeah, like family.
Well, there was also...
well, real quick, Cap, on that note, I'm sorry to interrupt, but on that note, the reason I point out family is because remember, if you've ever watched any of the videotape for the Super Bowl season for the Eagles, right? There's a clip where Nick Foles is about to do the victory formation, right? And they know they've already got the game in the bag, that they're now Super Bowl winners, basically, and all they've got to do is kneel the ball, right? So he gathers all the guys in the huddle, and you can hear Nick Foles get them all together and say, and the first words out of his mouth were, all right, guys, first of all, I just want to let y'all know I love you. And then he called the victory formation play. That's family, bro. Yeah. And that's Super Bowl winners.
And that's true. And then, there's this things that were trickling out about Kendall Lamb. Now, where this that was ESPN that reported it, that got some of the Dolphins people to talk about it. But I heard it from several places that this was all quoted in an article at Dolphins Talk, and that that this was something through the back channels, through some of these other heavy hitters in the community with the things that they say, and the Discord people and the Patreon people and the backroom people that scheme and had problems and gatekeep in the community with all the nonsense, that this was a narrative that leaked out of that, and it ended up in an article, and then it ended up all the way to ESPN, and then it ended up with Kendall Lamb having to speak on the matter himself, and he did so.
Line as can be. So I keep getting sent this article, apparently, that someone has said that I've slammed Dolphins culture and all that stuff. One, I don't remember talking to anyone or any reporter about anything that we really dealt with Miami, with the Dolphins. Two, I was never raised that way to sit there and comment on certain things as far as culture and everything else within the locker room. Three, I have no animosity or no ill will or bad intentions towards Miami or anybody down there whatsoever. I enjoyed my time in Miami, and it'll be near and dear to me forever. So when it comes to this article that I'm being sent, or this article that's been published, unless I just completely forgot doing this, had to be misconstrued or taken out of context, because I have nothing but the utmost respect for everyone in Miami, and the people in Miami know that.
So
sounds genuine enough to me.
I mean, it sounded genuine. I remember the article now. We did point it out. This article is from a few months ago. I did it on a show. We talked about it, about Kendall Lamb saying stuff about the Eagles. I want to say it was even fucking like last offseason, potentially. Something like that far ago. Like the start of last season that this article was written. And maybe it was. Maybe he did say these things. ESPN reported on it. He's saying that it's all BS. But this is where we're at. We're in the lies, the slander, the community beef, off-season obscure training techniques, boxing classes, Pilates, hot yoga, and bullshitting with everything until football actually gets started. That's it. Well, everybody hit the like button. Make sure you guys have, subscribe, share this page, all that good stuff. Anything anybody got, you guys? Ali?
Yeah, hit the like button. That's what.
Alrighty. Color, anything from you, buddy?
No, sir. Just stay tuned. I'm gathering up steam, man. The season's getting closer. We're in the thick of the deadest part of the off season, and I don't see much different going forward just yet, man. But we'll see what happens. Fins up as always.
Yeah,
I do have some other things. I didn't come prepared, but I have noticed a couple of things that I did want to bring to everybody's attention at some point. So I'll have some content pretty soon.
I can't wait. Tonk, TMI tomorrow?
Most likely.
Well, I don't know if you've seen what HB put in there. There might be a product you can bring up if you really want to open up a can of worms.
Yeah.
So, we might.
Well, I like the product, but I don't know how I feel about like the shirt.
I know it's kind of dirty
it looks
looking,
like
isn't it?
gang membery. Like I was like, I
don't know. He says it's a movement already happening. We're just trying to help it. So I don't know. All right, everybody, make sure you hit the like button. See us tomorrow at TMI. We'll see you guys. Fins up.